What is your opinion upon the nonsense that's going on right now with Captain Marvel?
Honestly, like that kind of agenda, I don't care for, and I think it's sad.
Minimize a character to a gender. It's what's the point in that? That's like minimizing something to a race.
They're kind of like pissed off because it's a woman.
In a world where geeking out never looked so good, two incredibly sexy men will rise for your auditory pleasure. Here's your hosts, keeping up with the Geek Bros.
And thank you for tuning in to episode 55 of Keepin Up the Geek Bros podcast. No, I'm not going to start singing. No, I'm not going to say what's going on. I'm just going to say greetings. I'm Vibe.
Darth Flexx.
And it's official, guys. We're doing it via Skype remotely from now on. This is the new format change, partially because my camera is still dead in the water. It's got to go to Texas now to be repaired. Wow. So, yeah, it's got to go to Sony. I actually went all the way to Pompano, like East Pompano by the beach area or whatever. It was like 48 minutes in traffic. The guy looked at it and said, "Oh, it's a Sony, man." He's like, I can lie to you and I can say, "Listen, I'll replace it, I'll fix it, but you still need to put the software in there. Only Sony has the software. You're still gonna need to send it out to Texas." So drove back 50 minutes in traffic and still have a busted camera. So we're gonna go from there. Just for those that are watching us right now on YouTube, there's going to be a delay in listening to us temporarily as we are doing some internal shifting. So the podcast is being actually, as it airs on weebiegeekspc.com or any other place it streams to, iHeartMedia, iTunes. There'll be a delay from now for a little bit, just a little bit. So bear with us. So there still will be pretty much weekly or bi-weekly episodes, but you can watch us here on YouTube. That's Vibe Studios at youtube.com. Sorry, start over again. youtube.com/Vibe Studios. you can check us out there, the video recaps, and then you're gonna get one gigantic like Netflix data dump of all the episodes that have not been posted as soon as we get some internal stuff worked out. So let's get into it. Flex, you want to give us our social media, which I've actually typed out for you this time on the outline.
Oh, look, yeah, I do see that. All right, so you can find us on social media on Instagram at Geek Bros with a 0, Twitter at Geek Bros with a 0, and you can email us at geekbros@yahoo.com. You can also find us on weebiegeekspc.com.
The first place eventually that you can hear us as it spreads out to the rest of the world. Now, of course, that's GEEKBR0S when we say Geek Bros with a 0, and that is standard for IG, Twitter, and YouTube.
Yahoo.
Ooh. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day, just tired. So it says gents, so I'm just gonna say forget gents. Flex, how was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good. I actually went by the pool and spent maybe 3 hours researching the menstrual cycle and the hormonal responses to the menstrual cycle in relation to training. It's crazy, right?
But I ask why at the pool though? Why at the pool?
Because I'm actually very, very pale right now, and the lack of vitamin D, I just don't want to die from heart disease.
Fantastic. There's no heart disease. Wait, vitamin D prevents heart disease?
So vitamin D deficiency, you're going to have something like heart disease, obviously rickets. That's why it's a pretty good argument why Santa Claus can't be black. There's an argument why he can be black because he's not real, so he can do whatever he wants. But yeah, vitamin D deficiencies have a lot of branching diseases that will probably kill you.
That's interesting. See, this is why we have Flex here. He gives us the nutrition and all that other good physiology stuff. I am vamping right now as I'm putting in my headphones because I forgot to put my headphones in. All right, there we go. Hopefully there's no feedback. I apologize. So my weekend was pretty simple. I do the babysitting. I usually do that. I did some editing, but not for Geek Bros. And that was about it. I finished Pokemon. That's a good thing.
How was that?
Dude, man, listen. One, it was laughably easy to find all the birds.
Mhm.
Like I stumbled upon them. I wasn't searching for them. I just found them. I found Zapdos randomly. I found Articuno randomly, and I found Moltres. Like I literally bumped into Moltres. I was like, wait a minute, Moltres is right here. So actually, I added them to my roster for the Elite Four, and I beat them. I mean, I did two of my Pokemon fainted, but I revived them. Other than that, it was simple. It was a lot of fun. Now which I probably should say this for Nintendo Life, but whatever. Now, once after you win, now there's this new feature where, okay, of course, Mewtwo's cave I believe is unlocked. I haven't gotten there yet, but now all those random battles you had, some of them are considered Pokemon Masters, but one Pokemon. So like, there's a Pikachu Master, there's a Weedle Master, where you have to fight them with the exact same Pokemon, and if you win, you get a particular badge or something that you can
Mhm.
show off when you play online. So it's kind of interesting. So that's where I am now. I'm post Elite Four Pokemoning, which is what I did, and slowly
Pokemoning.
getting, or slowly trudging through Kingdom Hearts 3. But we'll get into that. So I
Oof.
guess since Garbanzo is currently indisposed, you can take all his green.
All right. Well, let's see. Bear
You
with
like
me
my color
because-
coordinated everything, right? You do like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny how he's green. So okay, so for Garbanzo, let's see.
Why? What's wrong with green? You want to be green?
No, I like blue. Blue my favorite color.
Oh, okay.
All right. So tell me, Vibe, what's going on with the Geek Bros?
So the Geek Bros, a lot of nothing. I haven't posted anything. We haven't, of course, because of my main camera being down. It's been down for weeks now. We've been putting out mini-sodes on our phone. I haven't had any good ideas, so I haven't edited anything. We are actually officially planning our first like real review of 2019 for Captain Marvel. Flex is absolutely thrilled about that, by the way. And so you will be seeing that upcoming, but nothing new has come out. And again, we're doing brand restructuring, brand overhauling. So bear with us. One way or another, we're gonna get back to a regular schedule. But at least you have these podcasts to listen to our smooth, buttery voices. All right.
All right. So tell me, what are we talking about today?
Today, I like it. All right, so we got movies standing out this week. I changed up the little names. We have what's new in the gaming world. So Flex is gonna hit video games out this week. We're gonna talk. Well, I'm gonna talk Kingdom Hearts 3 so far because Flex, you're not playing that yet, right?
No, I'm still on Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay. We're gonna discuss Halo Infinity, a spiritual reboot. We're gonna talk Nintendo Life. We're gonna briefly just a tip of Super Mario Maker 2. We're going to add a new section, Inebriated Fitness. Darth Flexx will present my, or Vibes, pre-Star Wars Celebration fitness plan, or as much as he has talked to me about so far. Anime Invasion, I am still doing, an old school anime, so does Tenchi Muyo still hold up? Gadgets Are Us, another new header. We're going to talk about foldable phones.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's the hot thing. Okay, and for open mic, we've got Poor Taste featuring PETA, The Curious Case of Captain Marvel, Rick and Morty Season 4, Lucky Charms Beer, and Oscar winners. So, I'm ready. Let's get into it, okay?
let's do
So
this.
we're gonna get into the fresh scent. Fresh scent. So the movie standing out this week, I put two there. It's How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World. Some geek guys, they watch it. Renee watched it. Shout out to Renee, who will be here shortly or later when he gets home. And Alita, Battle Angel, which I actually want to watch. Out of the two that I put there, Flex, any of them you're interested in, or you have any opinions on them?
Actually, both of them. I will be honest. The second How to Train Your Dragon movie made me cry.
Really?
So the moment where Stoic, which is his
What are
dad,
they?
well, I mean, the movie's been out for like what, 2 years?
Yeah, but this is not.
Yeah.
You always gotta put that in there. It's common
Right.
courtesy.
So when he meets his mom, well, it's his mom because remember how he thought that his mom was dead,
Right.
and then she says, "Stoic, stop being so stoic," because he wasn't like showing any emotion to seeing her again for all these years.
Right.
And then he brushes her face and says, "You're just as beautiful as the day I lost you." Oh man, I'm not a I'm
You're
not
not
a guy for
you're not-
romance, but
You're not a sentimental guy, right?
also Gerard Butler's voice.
Oh, yeah.
he's an outstanding. Like, I don't know. At least in that scene, like I felt everything inside of Gerard Butler's heart. Like wow. So my eyes got a little watery. So I'm actually pretty excited because this time we're seeing the love life of Toothless, possibly.
Oh yes, with the
With the White Dragon.
light fury. Is that what it's called? I think it's called a light fury. There's a night fury and a light fury. I think it's called light fury.
Interracial relationship.
Email email us at geekbros@yahoo.com. And that, trust me, that's I can still hear it. I like to apologize for any animal sounds in the background. Darth Flexx is live from Miami Metro Zoo, and what? and he unplugged the mic. See, that's dedication. This is why Darth Flexx is the man, because he knows what he needs to do. What about Alita, Battle Angel? What about it?
Oh, dude, super hot, by the way. Smash. But that looks all right. The first thing that comes to mind when I see that, like, wait, is this the future? Are we no longer gonna need girlfriends? Because like if we have chicks like that, not only who okay, look, this has got to be like a geek's paradise, right? Because not only can you build a hot chick, but like let's be honest, most geeks. Okay, now this is kind of stereotypical, but most stereotypical geeks are pretty heavy set.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Socially awkward.
Yeah, so you have this.
What the Japanese call otakus.
Yeah, they're Snorlaxes. So now you have this really hot like android chick, but here's the thing: wherever you go, if somebody messes with you, she can just whoop their ass.
It's just she can make some.
Take you back home and
make sweet love to you. Yep,
yeah.
You're right. That's the dream. That is the dream.
But the cast is great.
Really?
My opinion. I think so. Yeah. I mean, they have a pretty good cast as far as like. I mean, it's not like Oscar quality.
No, of course.
But they have pretty good actors. It seems pretty interesting, man. It reminds me of this hentai I used to watch called Project Sekare, where it was one master and he had a bunch of like girls who would fight, and they looked just like that chick with like huge howitzers.
But this is an anime, right? Isn't this a live action anime or based on an anime? Something like that?
Somewhat. I mean, it has a lot of inspirations from things you can find on Netflix.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to keep it moving to what's new in the gaming world. All right, Flex, video games out this week. Are you prepared?
Yes, sir. So we're going to start with PlayStation 4. So February 26th, we have Dirt Rally 2.0. February 26th, we have Stellaris Console Edition, so I guess it's PC. Same day, we have Trials Rising. We have, on February 28th, we have Thimble. And then on March 1st, we have Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove.
Oh, is that a new one, or that's like a remake?
I think this is one of these indie games. It looks like it's a remake, though.
No, because Toe Jam and Earl, that used to be on like Sega or whatever. So I was like, is that like from the classics being brought out, or is that like a new game?
It looks like it's from the classics.
Oh, okay.
And I believe it would probably be on PS Network. It's like one of those games you just buy a straight.
So yeah, it's a Sega classic. Womp womp.
So for Xbox One, one I'm very excited for, Crackdown 3. Oh wait, actually that came out last week, but it's on here. Still, actually, no. Well, hold on. Their multiplayer edition did come out this week. You can download that on Game Pass if you have Xbox One.
All right.
This one's been very popular. It didn't come out this week again, but it has been kind of putting eyes on a lot of stuff. Anthem. Okay, so February 26th, we have Dirt Rally 2.0, Trials Rising as well. And then on the 27th, we have Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles.
Okay.
Another Golden Sun-esque game.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Golden Sun.
Oh, dude, that game is awesome.
Okay.
Now for the Switch. For the Switch, we have February 26th. We have Trials Rising. Now we have Remy Lore, Lost Girl in the Lands of Lore. Looks kind of like Dragon Quest, if you were to ask me.
Oh, okay.
On the 28th, we have Ape Out. That's it.
That's it? Well,
yeah.
That's lackluster.
For PC, we actually have the same things, except for February 27th, we have Tech Support Error Unknown. I know it's a game, but like at first I didn't think it was a game. I thought it was just a glitch on the.
I was looking at you like it's like. All right, well, that's your video games out this week. Thank you, Flex. We're gonna move on to Kingdom Hearts 3 thus far. Well, I am playing it. That's all I can say. I'm playing the game. I still love the gummy ship, but unfortunately I maxed it out at level 99, so now there's no point in it. Like, I guess you can still buy, you can make new ships and stuff and get the pieces for the bigger ships, but I was enjoying leveling up my gummy ship. So now that's over and done with. So it takes a little bit of luster out of it.
I have a few questions for you.
Sure, go for
in
it.
that game. Let's make this actually, because I'm actually really interested in playing, and I will soon. Now, like the previous games, are you able to get various keyblades and so on and customize them?
Yeah, you get various. Well, you don't customize the keyblades. Like originally in all the other games, you got charms that went to your keyblade.
Yeah, that's what
keyblade. But this time you actually get a brand new keyblade. So, and you can equip 3 different keyblades now.
Oh, at once you can just
at once, and you can cycle between them while you're playing the game. So if you want the one that specializes in magic and the one that specializes in attack, and then the one that does both, which is what I do actually. I have one for magic, one for full attack, and then I had the kingdom key. And then each keyblade that you receive, you can actually unlock 10 levels in them. But you need to get material, and that increases a stat. It increases either attack or it increases magic, and it also some of them will add a special something additional thing to it. It's kind of cool. Don't get me wrong. Even though I find myself only using the one keyblade because I like to mash the X button, but that's a lot of fun. The D-links are fun. The random summons are fun.
Yeah.
The random team attacks are fun. Where if you equip the team attack, if you're close to Donald or Goofy and you reach that combo, they'll grab each other and spin around. It's kind of cool.
So a majority of your journey thus far has not really been main quests. It's been side stuff.
No, it's pretty much all main quests. There's no real side anything because in each, let me change that again. Every world pretty much is a side quest with just a little extra key of the full story. So I went to, except for when you go to Twilight, I think it's Twilight Town. That's what it is.
That is a town.
Huh?
That is a town in the game. I don't know if in this game.
Twilight Town. I keep forgetting. I think it's Twilight. I want to call it something else. But if you go to Twilight Town, that world, that's where the main story really is. But of course, you only go back there every once in a while as you advance through. But Hercules, it was following the Hercules story with just a very hint of the main story. When I went to Tangled, it was a Tangled story, just with just a little hint. There's 1 or 2 scenes of the main story in each world. So each world is a side quest. So which is fine, but except for when you get stuck in worlds you don't like. Like right now, I'm in Frozen, and I am not thrilled. I don't like Frozen like that, so I'm not excited at all to be playing a Frozen level. I was barely entertained with the Tangled level. I like Hercules, and I liked Monsters Inc. was cool.
I bet
it was a lot of fun, but yeah, I'm in Frozen. So because I'm stuck on Frozen, I'm not really all that interested in going any further. I'm I'll play the game, get through the game. So that's how it is so far. The cutscenes are still driving me nuts, Flex.
Do you know how far into the game you are as far as percentage of completion? Because I want to ask some questions, but I also don't want to spoil it for people. I don't know. I guess we could say spoiler alert, right?
So, well, of course it's spoiler alert because of course you're Kingdom Hearts thus far. I want to say maybe 1/3, maybe 1/2. Okay. I'm not sure because I know the game can be beaten in a weekend. I know Renee beat it in a weekend. I want to say Garbanzo beat it already. Wow. Me, I'm taking my sweet time because I'm telling you, the love of my life exists in that game, and that's the gummy ship. I would just play it forever. Just go around shooting things, fighting bosses, random battles. And their version of it's kind of like what's that game? Not Metro Aliens. You know where it's like Missile Commander or something like that. Like the aliens are on the top, they go beep beep beep. And
those are alien invaders.
It reminds me of a faster paced Invaders, but instead your ship is right here, and in the foreground. And wait. Okay, your ship is here. There we go. And in the foreground, the bosses come here, and you're shooting them, and they're blasting.
I thought you were gonna flick me off. All right. Is there any Star Wars in that game?
Not that I know of, and not yet. I don't think so. I haven't heard anything.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes, I know that's coming.
Thank God.
I haven't played it. I know it's coming because Renee spoiled it for me. He told me I'm in Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm like, dude, I'm not even there yet. Come on. So that's what it is though far. I still have the same complaints. I cannot stand all the cutscenes. It's like I think I saw a full cut. I think I saw a full edit on YouTube. All the cutscenes together is about 4.5 hours.
Oh.
That's too many cutscenes. So as like I told my offspring, I said if I wanted to watch Kingdom Hearts, I would watch Kingdom Hearts. I want to play the game. So that's my only thing. But I'm getting through it. I'm getting through it.
I bet that game would be pretty good, like inebriated. We actually just got a pretty big sponsorship from a medical marijuana company.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's what's up.
I mean, it's not paid, but you get CBD for recovery. But I bet you get some THC edibles, so this is pretty good because the colors are amazing in that game.
Yes, they are. It's still a very beautiful game. Very beautiful. All right, so we're gonna move on to Halo Infinity, a spiritual reboot. This is all you, Flex.
Yes. Okay. Have you actually played any of the Halo games before?
No, not at all. I'm not a Halo guy. What is that, a first-person shooter? I don't really know. Or is that a third-person shooter? What is it exactly?
It's a first-person shooter.
Okay.
I mean, at least in my opinion, growing up, it's probably one of the most iconic first-person shooters ever to hit Xbox. That was actually, I remember when the first Xbox first came out, that was like one of the things that drew me in. But I was very young. I wasn't even a teenager yet, and I remember being scared of that game because. Can you imagine being some little Colombian boy coming from a third world country and you see these great graphics and all these aliens just murdering Marines? I'm like, oh, God. So,
is that the inspiration of you joining the military? That's your origin story?
And me in the military? Oh, no. That is completely like alcohol abuse and just very bad situations and a lot of, I don't know how to say this, but hefty women. So,
Hefty as in quantity or size?
Both. So there's this term in the Marine Corps, in the military, called dependopotamus, right? When your spouse who's not military is a dependent. For some reason, after marriage, they gain 3 times their weight, so they're dependopotamuses.
Oh.
Okay, but we're actually getting way off track.
Yeah, we digress.
It is still relative because these are all Marines, but
of course.
I'm sure Master Chief has a couple of hogs in his closet. Now, so
Jeez, don't add us.
In the last E3, we had a tease from 343 Studios of Halo. It seems like they're in this world it's pretty green, kind of, I guess, a very remote world. No civilization there, and you just see a couple of Spartans driving by in a Warhog, and then you're just walking by, and then you see kind of a close-up of a Spartan, but just posterior, and the helmet hanging. Now, I can't confirm this is Master Chief because it is the Mjolnir armor, a Mark IV, but you can't really tell it's Master Chief. But it is like the original armor. But if you follow the game, his armor has changed throughout the years. Now, it seems that this might, in my opinion, it might be an open world game because you see somewhat like what you would see in Red Dead Redemption. It's like a lot of green, a lot of animals, a lot of wilderness. But you don't see any actual gameplay. You just see the whole trailer is just a kind of a like promo of a world. And in the background you see some kind of I guess ruins of rings. And I'm assuming those rings are Halo installations that might have crash landed into this massive Titanic planet because this planet has to be huge to carry rings, right? You also see smaller rings, which could be installations of the arcs, which is kind of what the Halos used to communicate in the world. Now, the creator says this is going to be a reimagining, and they say reimagining in the sense of multiplayer.
Okay.
Because he actually is pretty vague in this. Now, the campaign, which he mentions here, is pretty solid. The campaign has been overwhelming to the sense where, like, yeah, multiplayer is what? I think Halo 3, and when I say multiplayer, I mean multiplayer in the sense of, like, PvP, not, like, campaign mode, co-op.
Right.
Because the co-op is solid. I think Halo 3 had the best co-op because in previous games, or most other games other than Gears of War, in co-op for the campaign, when you play with someone else, you get kind of the same character, a default character. Right, like it's either the same character but different color.
Right.
So in Halo 3, the one who initiates the co-op campaign is Master Chief. Second one is Arbiter, which is one of the aliens, but he's one of the main character aliens. Then you have 2 other supporting aliens, which are the alien race is called Sangheli. So you're the elites, right? The elites. So there's actual supporting characters with names. This is the first time Halo has done that.
Okay.
I think that was pretty solid as far as campaign co-op. So, but it seems like they weren't pleased with their multiplayer program, which I think was pretty solid for the previous Halo game that just came out. It has see me, I am terrible at PvP. I get murdered by a bunch of little kids, and then they call me all kinds of racial slurs. And apparently,
Yes.
all these 9-year-olds have banged my mom, and my dad's like, a homo. But it seems like they might be reimagining it back to that. In my opinion, it seems like more Call of Duty-esque with these little kids just talking crap to you. But the previous one offered multiplayer online versus AI players, which I think was pretty good in my opinion. Because I was actually,
I like that. That sounds a lot better.
I was able to enjoy it without getting like getting hurt by a bunch of little kids, which is pretty entertaining in my opinion. So it's kind of like Horde. Horde is what you see in most current games. Is
right.
It's an online multiplayer, and you're just versus against AI. But it seems like this may be they're trying to mimic, from what the article is telling me, trying to mimic Apex, Fortnite.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Your offspring play Fortnite, right?
I've experienced or I've watched, but yeah, they do, or at least the youngest one definitely does, and I don't get the appeal.
It's fun with friends, right? But other than that, I just can't see it's working for Halo. If they do want to add a multiplayer, I think they should keep it the same way they have.
Right.
They should keep the campaign co-op, but they should also follow, if it will be open world, follow somewhat of a layout that Destiny has.
Okay.
Which is from the same parroting company. If they want to do that kind of multiplayer, which it is open world, and you can team up and do missions, but you also have PvP. I think that would be a great approach for Halo Infinite.
Well, hopefully that's what they do.
Yeah, and it seems like they're not going to follow where Halo 5 left off, which in my opinion is kind of sad, because the story is just great. I mean, when Cortana, I don't know, the relationship between Cortana and Master Chief broke my heart. Also, you haven't seen Master Chief's face, which when I was in high school, like you've never seen it. You've seen his eyes, which was in the recent, so it was in Halo 4. We know he's white. Okay. Not that it matters, but like I never saw Master Chief being a black dude. Right. And at school, that was kind of like the biggest argument in class. Is he black? Is he Puerto Rican? Is he white? Yeah. And if you see his eyes, he's a very, very old white dude, because you see the wrinkles. But then again, that's the military. The military does age you twice.
Right.
But the whole premise of the Spartan program is pretty much Captain America. It's just a bunch of roided up super soldiers.
Okay. I might want to check it out, because you said there's a story mode. I only like stories, I don't really.
If you ever get an Xbox, I have the Master Chief Collection, has all the games. I'll lend it to you, and then you can get stuff from there. They even have a spin-off, which is ODST, and you play a regular Marine. You're not a super soldier, so you can die much. But it is a pretty good like stealth game if you want to try it.
All right, well, that's Darth Flexx approved. We're gonna move on to a quick snippet. I was looking for the clip. I have it here, but I guess it's not the right one. I'm not sure. But Super Mario Maker 2 releases for the Switch June 2nd. Now, I saw the video of it. That looks like a lot of fun. You ever play with the first one, or you ever touched it at all? Just a tip?
A little bit, but never got into it really.
Never got into it?
I don't like those kinds of Mario games.
Okay. Well, you make your own level, then play it?
Yeah, no. I like the styles of Mario Galaxy, or dude, Mario Sunshine was the best.
Really?
Mario Sunshine was the best.
That's cool. I just like the idea of building your own like ridiculous stage, and then you can post it online, let other people play it. I always thought it was cool. I always intended on getting the original Maker, but then I was like, I know for a fact I'm going to get this. I'm never going to use it. So definitely want to check that out. So if you guys want to check it out, by all means, if you play Mario, I'm seeing Flex, you freaking threw me off with that message. I love it, man. Super Mario Maker 2, if you guys check it out, email us, let us know would you like, or if you play the original version, do you think that I five should get it? You let me know. I'm down for that. So are we gonna? I'm just gonna throw it out there. So Garbanzo's about to jump in, I believe. Are we gonna wait for Garbanzo? Or should we just move on to fitness?
Let's go to fitness because I think this could be quite of a lengthy one if you participate with me, and then he can just jump in. I think it'll just add more to the podcast.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so new thing, inebriated fitness, presented to you by the inebriated craftsman, aka Darth Flexx. Flex, just to give you a little backstory, we have some news for Star Wars Celebration. We will get to that eventually. We will let you guys know about it. But in that vein, I am asking Flex to give me a fitness/nutrition regimen so I can slim down and look very good for April 11th through the 15th or 14th in Chicago for Star Wars Celebration 2019. Flex, by all means.
So I guess let's do a small introduction to this, right? My background, outside of being a geek, I'm also a coach by day, but not just a coach. I'm actually a legitimate exercise physiologist.
Oh, yeah, give me your credentials.
Yeah. I'm an exercise physiologist. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I'm a sports nutritionist, and these are all postgraduate programs. No big deal. But just
I barely have my AA in everybody. Barely.
I am also a weight cut specialist through Lockhart and Leith. Currently, I work a lot with UFC fighters, Bellator fighters, PFL, Invicta, One Championship, and I'm actually one of the I am the assistant strength and conditioning coach at American Top Team, the headquarters in Coconut Creek, and I work with a lot of I do work with a lot of up and coming fighters. I work with a lot of champions like Joanna Joan Jacek, Junior Dos Santos, Tisha Torres. We have Shoeface or Karaji Sapato. A lot of Brazilian guys. A lot of world champions in MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but not a big deal, right?
Yeah, no, it's not a big deal. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, whatever.
Yeah. I want to make it very clear that I'm not a UFC guy, but the only time I ever would watch UFC is with Flex over here when he would host his events either at his place or at Nova. So that's as much as I know about UFC.
Oh, also Amanda Nunes, which is, by the way, a two-division UFC world champion and the first openly gay female fighter.
All right.
Big deal again.
Of course.
She effed up Ronda Rousey. She effed up Chris Cyborg. Whew. This is vodka, by the way.
I was gonna ask, what are you drinking? It's funny because when you when you bring the cup into frame, your camera puts a blur on it, like if it's actually being blurred out. It's really funny.
I have Skype set to blur out my backgrounds.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, because it looks like you're blurring out, like, sometimes they blur out product placements. I'm just like, it's really funny. You're bringing it in, it blurs it out.
Yeah, it does. That's crazy. Huh?
Yeah, see, can you see? So.
Okay, so for inebriated fitness, let's make this interactive. Do you have any questions aside from what I've done for you?
Basically, what is your goal for me? I'm not exactly sure what the goal is. I know what my goal is. Just basically very arbitrary. It's I want to look as good as possible for celebration. But I don't know. But your structure that you're giving me, you obviously have a goal in mind for me at least. So what exactly is that?
That's a good question, actually. So when you deal with humans, right? Because you can train other.
Allegedly.
Yeah. You can train horses, dog. But okay, so you would separate it into like athletes and general population. Now you would fall under general population, which for me, it is one of the hardest to work with, but also one of the easiest to conceptualize, right?
Right.
Because the reason why it's hard is because you have your own life. You don't have a... Oh, look, it's Garbanzo.
All right, Garbanzo.
Hey, ladies.
In the building.
Sorry about that.
How am I gonna do this? Let me see. I just drag it in and hopefully don't mess up my thing. Am I still? Can we still see me? Am I still?
Yeah.
That's what I did last time. I was recording it and it froze up. Ladies and gentlemen, Garbanzo, we are already into the inebriated fitness part of the outline. So if you want to turn to page 2, and Flex was just about to get into his goals for me for celebration, and go.
Okay.
Oh,
look, it's Renee. Holy crap.
Hey,
what's up, guys?
We got Renee. All right, let me fix this now. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Renee, our guest for this podcast. Now, you might have seen him in recent things such as the Kingdom Hearts 3 unboxing, and which other thing did we do? You were in the Kingdom Hearts reaction, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So, Renee, I just told Garbanzo, but we're on page 2. We're right now we're talking about the inebriated fitness. His plan for me for celebration. So, for the third time now, Flex, you're on.
Perfect. Okay. So for Vibe's goal, it's actually a quite simple goal. It's to drop a few LBs for celebration. Now, many of you may not know this, but he has quite a bit of muscle underneath all that loving fluff. He is a strong man. Now, for him, it's not going to be too hard because he's still young. God, do I want to bring in genetics, or is that not PC?
No, bring genetics. Bring genetics. I'm a
So,
black man. That's what he said.
Yeah,
to me,
yeah,
by the
yeah.
way.
So actually, I did text him like, yeah, man, you're a black man. You got to work pretty much all those years and years of genetic modification in the plantation. But realistically, when it comes to science, you can't be PC or you can't be offended because you have to take it for what it is. Now he has good genetics, you know.
Black don't crack.
Black don't crack, and you guys, I mean, you are a little short, but you do build muscle faster.
Yeah.
And the reason why you're short is because you don't need to get rid of heat as readily as your ancestors did. Now, for him, we have an intermittent fasting program. Now, what intermittent fasting is just intermittent trials of fasting. So you're going to fast for 16 hours, this is the most sustainable one, is the 16-8. He will fast for 16 hours, which ideally 8 of those should be sleeping. You know, anywhere from 6 to 10 should be sleeping. Right? Depending on where your schedule goes. And then you have an 8-hour eating window. Now, what that does is studies show that when you are in a fasted state, your growth hormone is the highest. Your insulin is the lowest. Now, these are 2 hormones you want to take into consideration when it comes to this kind of fasting protocol, because this is known as the lean gains protocol. Because of the growth hormones, you are supposed to build lean body mass. Now, when you exercise, your hormone levels, when you exercise, your growth hormone levels are also elevated and your insulin is lowered. So it's always best to combine those together as best as possible if you can. It is not necessary, but that's how you get your best bang for your buck. Now, what does that mean? Growth hormone, of course, if you know anything about steroids or anything about The Rock, which is what he's on, growth hormone.
But he's doing it right, you said. Didn't you tell me that he's the only one that's doing it right, though?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Look, here's one thing. If steroids or hormone therapy has no negative side effects if you don't abuse it. It really doesn't. It actually has, I think, people say, okay, it makes you sterile. That's great. You don't have to wear protection. Right. You get massive. And look, steroids, this is studies. You can look this up on PubMed. Steroids do not make you aggressive. They do not make you an angry person. What they do is it kind of exaggerates what kind of a person you already are. Now, if you're a dick and you take steroids, you're going to be a massive dick. You're going to have roid rage, right? Other than that, you shouldn't be worried about it. I mean, like the mountain from actually no, let's use The Rock. The Rock is on everything that science has created. I mean, let's be real. This guy is what, like 300 pounds lean, and he could probably be my father. How old is he? He's got to be close to his 40s. Yeah,
sounds about right.
Yeah, even if you have those good genes, because he's Samoan and black, you can't maintain that kind of musculature naturally. Your body's just gonna start to atrophy over time. So when you do take steroids, once you come off a cycle, which I'm pretty sure The Rock never comes off a cycle, he's continuously just. You lose a good
side effects
of your gains. You do lose a good percentage of your gains. Okay, but now back to your natural way of doing it. The growth hormone, while it might not have the effects of The Rock, it is going to have pretty positive effects, especially for a male over 25. Once we go over 25, things start to get a little bit harder in the sense of hormone. Your testosterone starts to drop quite a bit. You can counteract that by obviously working out, eating proper foods like broccoli, asparagus, are the natural testosterone boosters.
Oh.
Yeah. The only thing is they kind of gas you up a little bit. Not like farts, but like
they bloat you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, so for Vibe, we're trying to cut down some LBs for celebration. Because of his schedule, the fastest and best and safest way to do it is intermittent fasting, which is calorie restriction, which if you look at it from an athletic standpoint, at times it won't be very ideal. But intermittent fasting allows Vibe to control his hormones. It makes him more sensitive to things like ghrelin and leptin. Okay, leptin is what makes you feel full. So when you eat a lot of fat, your stomach releases leptin. Leptin is what makes you feel satiated. Ghrelin makes you feel hungry. If you're able to get through about a week or two of intermittent fasting, the ghrelin sensitivity starts to go down. You're not as sensitive to it. If you're very sensitive to ghrelin, you're going to always feel hungry. With excess body fat, you're going to, for the most part, feel hungry a lot because that ghrelin hormonal response is kind of out of whack. Intermittent fasting kind of resets your hormonal sensitivity. I do it for the fighters, but towards the last part of their camp, just because I don't want them to be hormonally sensitive or kind of reset their hormones too early in the camp. But for general population, it is pretty beneficial because now your body knows, hey, I know I'm going to get food later on in the day. I don't have to worry about storing anything. The reason why insulin spikes is because we're hungry. When we eat, insulin is going to store everything as fat, or it'll take glucose and glycogen and turn it into fat. Well, not turn into fat, but it will store it as fat deposits because your body is going into starvation mode. So it doesn't know when it's going to get more nutrition. Then it'll just store energy, which is fat. Our primary source of energy is sugar. But when we're out of sugar, we rely on the body fat. That's why we store it. So that's why this is the best way for Vibe to approach it, because he is a busy man. He works a lot. So what he can do is he can regulate his hormones to kind of work with his schedule and actually drop those pounds. A lot of it will be water weight. A lot of it will be toxins the body releases. Because fasting, what it also does, it allows for cellular recovery. Now, if your stomach's not busy breaking down food, it's able to recover a little bit better. Because think about it, you have high hydrochloric acid inside your stomach. So now your cells are able to repair, kind of take a little bit of time off from digesting food, and you can focus on everything else in your body. And there's a lot of anecdotal claims on it, like, oh, it helped with my diabetes, it cured my cancer, and so on. I'm not saying it's not true, but
Right.
if you look at it from a cellular standpoint, if your body has time to recover and kind of fix everything else and not worry about digesting, it does make sense, right?
Well, what I can say is that since I've been on intermittent fasting, I have lost 13 pounds just doing that alone. Only recently have I added more physical fitness into it, and that's because, of course, I get weighed literally twice a week, every week. So they actually tracked it, and it was basically around when I started the intermittent fasting, and basically, I wake up, I don't feel bloated. I at least look leaner in my large shirts now, as opposed to bloated, which is fantastic. Even you, Flex, when we went for our live 50th episode, you even said you like, damn, man, that fasting's working well for you, because I was wearing one of the large shirts that I haven't worn in a while, because I kind of for over the summer I kind of went up to extra large for I dabbled for a little bit. So one of the things though that I'm getting a lot of blowback from, because you guys already know that I went vegan for 62 days, and you guys tease me relentless. Well, when I explained that I'm doing the exact opposite of what I used to do. I used to eat on the hour, every hour. Now I'm not eating at all. So people are just, oh, so you're starving yourself. Your body's just gonna store fat, and you're not gonna lose any weight. What are you doing? What do you say to the naysayers? I'm talking about everybody at my day job, all against me starving myself. Even though I said, listen,
Okay.
I have a professional who's has a degree in this. He knows what he's doing, and I'm his guinea pig. What would you say to the naysayers?
I actually get that a lot. And what it is they're not necessarily wrong. They're just wrong for this circumstance.
Right.
They're very one-dimensional. They're not thinking about hormonal responses. Right.
Right.
So the every hour on the hour is great for bodybuilders. It's great if you have a pretty good routine. It does work. It does work now because you are giving the hormones a specific response, right, of feeding the body and not staying hungry. For a lot of people, especially athletes, I recommend don't stay hungry, stay satiated. You're hungry, your insulin spikes. If you eat every hour in the hour, you're not going to feel hungry. Therefore, your insulin won't spike.
Right.
And you said you did follow a vegan diet for quite a bit too, and that's great too. The thing about with that is you have to be careful about being malnourished, because many people don't know. People say, "Oh, on a vegan diet you can get enough iron." Now you can get iron, but it's non-heme iron. Heme means blood. It's a line word for blood.
Right.
Non-heme iron, the body, human, but well, actually, any life who eats life does not digest heme iron properly. So you will have to supplement, because you can have low iron, stuff like that. Also, as well as B vitamins. But that's not the case for you. I mean, you did it pretty well. It is possible to be vegan and be healthy. You just got to take into consideration of what will be malnourished.
Well, yeah.
If you do intermittent fasting on a vegan diet and you're not properly supplementing the vitamins and minerals you would not get from animal products, you will be in turn starving yourself, and you will see a lot of negative effects.
Yeah, I actually tried going vegan for 3 days, and I woke up progressively feeling worse and worse and worse until I said, okay, I gotta might go back to eating something like that. And I felt a little bit better. So it was weird. I was getting more and more lethargic, which is when I had asked you, can I go vegan on this? And you said, well, you can incorporate vegan into it, but don't go vegan. You advised me not to go vegan.
Yeah.
So before we move on, what you said you already mentioned exactly what, but you can repeat it one more time. Your goal for me with this plan is to do what again?
With your schedule?
Yes.
Just drop some weight, because for you don't have to. People think that running to the gym and go crazy is going to give you the best results. Actually, it won't. Your body's not going to respond well to that, because you're going to break down faster than you can build, because you're not used to it.
Right.
So for you, we're taking it slow. We're doing intermittent fasting, and you're doing some kind of activity outside of work and labor and life. 3 times a week?
Yes, you gave me it's 5 times a week. 2 days I'm off. You gave me some yoga, which, believe it or not, I'm actually doing the yoga poses. I haven't been to the gym yet to send you the pictures, but I have been doing some physical fitness,
With the yoga poses, it's not like I'm asking them to sit there and do poses. No, I'm asking them to pick a pose and hold it isometrically for 30 seconds?
Yes.
And you do that for a certain amount of repetitions. Now the isometric hold it's still a contraction, because you're not doing this.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're not contracting. If I have a weight here and I'm holding this, this is still a contraction.
Correct.
We're just being safe. It's going to have a pretty good response. You're creating pretty good force. There's no velocity, but it still doesn't matter. You're not over here trying to be, a track and field star. But
exactly.
You're holding that. You're breaking down muscle fibers. You're giving yourself a metabolic response that's going to have to rebuild. And along with the fasting, it's going to help you. And we are going to increase it. Obviously, you can't do the same thing forever.
Of course.
Listen. Now,
oh, snap.
we are going to add. We're going to increase the intensity. We are going to follow. In a sense, if you're S&C coach, it's a linear periodization. We're going to increase right now, duration is long, intensity is low. Towards the end, intensity will be high, duration will be low. Just so we can kind of get you going. We need to go quickly.
Well, guys, definitely follow my journey as Darth Flexx on our inebriated fitness section, as we see whether or not I maintain this for Star Wars Celebration. 6 weeks away, so hopefully
cocaine is an option.
Oh, cocaine is an option. It's a hell of a drug. All right. So we're going to move on to Anime Invasion. I just threw in there real quick. Last episode, I discussed how I was going back in time and watching anime from my childhood. I moved back onto Tenchi Muyo, and I'm asking, does it still hold up? Before I get into it, any of you fine gentlemen ever watched any of the Tenchi Muyos?
Absolutely. That was like my whole middle school and high school.
Absolutely.
So I
honestly only watched a few episodes.
Oh, which one? Muyo or Universe, or because it's like
Muyo.
Muyo?
Just regular Muyo, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start with you, Renee. So you watched only a few episodes because I have to assume you never got into it. Renee, we can't even see your eyes, dog. Put your head down. There you go.
There you go.
There we go. All right. So you only saw a few episodes. Why is it only a few? What happened?
I never could get into it.
He found porn.
That too.
That too.
Tenchi Muyo was the first, I guess, harem type anime that I ever watched. All the girls want one guy. That I'm gonna be honest. When I was, in I think it was high school. That's the dream, to be sought after by a bunch of women. So I think that's what actually kept me watching. Because I'm just like, Ayeka was the very first anime girl I ever had a crush on. Ayeka with her British accent. Oh my god. Woo!
See, look, that goes into sub versus dub.
Yeah.
If it was dubbed, you wouldn't have gotten that.
No, I wouldn't have. So Renee, okay, so you never got into it. Any reasons why? Is the harem idea? It was lack of action? I mean,
it was lack of action. Mostly when I was watching anime, and most of the animes that I watch have a lot of action. Mm-hmm. So for me, the whole lack of there being action was I couldn't get into it. But around that time, we're talking Toonami?
Yes.
Yeah.
Toonami.
So I would watch. I watched Gundam Wing. I actually own Gundam Wing.
Oh,
that was the first thing I ever got into.
Endless Waltz is my.
we talked about that last week, man. I was rewatching that. No, but you can't have to admit though, the Tenchi Muyo promo that they were running on Toonami, that was the shit.
Yeah.
Like that had me jacked up. I was like, what? So what actually upset me is when they went from Muyo to Universe, they packaged it as one series, and when it reset, I was like, what's happening here? What the fuck? I was so, and then when they went to Tokyo, I was even more upset. But Garbanzo, Tenchi Muyo.
I remember, like I remember seeing a few episodes, stuff like that. Like I basically it was on Toonami, so I just happened to watch it whenever I caught it. But it wasn't one like that I went out of my way to go watch.
It's blurring out, Flex. We can't see the product placement. It blurs out.
Have this blurry pill.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's Sweet Peaks.
But I'm rewatching it now, and I'm telling you right now, it doesn't hold up the way it used to. Some of the acting is cringy. A lot of the dialogue is cringy. I'm kind of just like I'm like, oh man. But I'm still watching it. I'm still down for it. I know there's I rewatch. I wish all the way up to OVA 3 again. Now I know there's an OVA 4. I don't think they've dubbed it yet, but they've gone somewhere with that. I'm a little excited. There's actually one that came out in 2014 called I Tenchi Muyo, which is that one was dubbed, and the original voice of Ryoko came back. I was like, yes. So I'm actually checking that out on where was I seeing it on? YouTube. Yeah, I was checking it out on YouTube. They're like vignettes. They're like each episode is like 50 episodes, and each episode is like 3 minutes long. So it's kind of like annoying because it goes over and over. It's really short, and it's based in a city in Japan, because that city is who sponsored this. So it's interesting. I don't know if it's in the Muyo timeline or if it's just a spin-off, but basically Tenchi is in a different world, and he's a student teacher, and he's there to stop some kind of world-ending plot. I haven't gotten to the world-ending plot yet, because now he's got his girls chasing after him. He's got these high schoolers that kind of like him or like each. It's weird. So, but that's Tenchi Muyo for you. Watch it. Only Toonami. We're gonna move on to our next topic, which is a new heading for us. Gadgets are us. We're gonna discuss foldable phones. Gents, I'm pretty sure
like a razor.
Huh?
Like a razor?
Oh, foldable
Samsung.
Phones. No, there's actual foldable phones. There is now like a phone race. Basically, it's a phone that can a smartphone that'll fold, and it can open up to like, I guess you can say like a tablet. Yeah. So this article comes from
that does sound cool.
CNET.com. I sent you guys all the links. It's called the Galaxy Fold officially has competition. I can't even. Is that Huawei? Huawei announced its own foldable phone.
Yeah, it's I think it's pronounced Huawei.
Huawei announced its own foldable phone at the MWC 2019 in Buffalo.
Yes. And
both phones unfold into a tablet, and they have the option for 5G. I don't know if any of you guys are on 5G. I'm on 5G apparently.
I don't think T-Mobile has 5G yet.
No? Yeah, it's
I think they're ready for 5G because the S10 is going to be 5G.
Oh, I don't know. I woke up one day and I was connected to the 5G grid and nobody else was, and I was freaking out. But moving on with my life. So they have these, but they have eye-watering prices at launch. So apparently these are going to be super ass expensive. The Galaxy Fold is one of the smallest. Huh? What
like
else?
$2,000 a hair?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Actually, do you guys know Alex?
Phone,
I mean, do you know who Alex Jones is? That conspiracy.
Oh, hell yeah!
So him and Joe Rogan had a pretty good conversation about how this is aliens creating this and giving it to us.
well, that's an actual. It's funny. We don't have a conspiracy files part of the show, but they do say that and actually, that's even in Transformers 1 they use that. You know that, right? They said the modern technology was reverse engineered from Megatron.
Yep.
That's where that idea comes from. Is that they say that we were doing pretty well with technology, but then all of a sudden after Roswell, we just started having a spike in technology, and it kept on going up. So that is actually a conspiracy theory. I wouldn't say it's legit, but it's one where they say that all our modern technology is reverse engineered from aliens, whether they're helping us or they crashed or whatever. They say that's where it came from. But back to the foldable phone. The Galaxy Fold is one of the smallest screens on the outside of a large screen, and then on the inside, blah 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 blah. It folds three different. What does it fold three different ways? I don't know. It folds. It's awesome. I saw the video. I don't know if you guys actually watched the video that was on this article, and I think
I'll
that's
turn it right now.
Yep, I think it's freaking amazing. I don't know.
I mean,
if,
I know I've seen a little bit on referencing to the Samsung one because I saw the commercial for the Samsung one when they did the S10
right.
because Pink Jess is a massive Samsung pusher, as you guys know, and she's been dying to get me off my Apple device for a while now.
Said I was an Apple head for a couple of years. Then I switched over to Android and I haven't looked back. So just throwing that out there. And now Samsung is the truth for me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: that S10 may be the one that pushes me over.
Anybody else interested in this foldable phone? Thoughts before we move on?
I think we're not asking the real question here.
What is the real question?
How will foldable phones affect mobile pornography?
Bigger screen.
Bigger screen,
Will
right?
it?
But like,
It'd be harder to hold in one hand, though.
I'm pretty sure you can get like one that has like a stand.
yeah.
You can stand it up.
Or like,
you don't think it's gonna be accessible.
what if they make a foldable phone that you can fold across your eyes, like VR, and just
Hands-free?
Sorry, and just go to
Hands-free
town
legitimate.
on your.
Oh,
I mean, your hand.
Don't they already have the 3D pornography that you can use in the Oculus or whatever it is? And,
Yeah, but
actually, you can
you have to actually put it inside of something. If you could just fold your phone over, you'll be hands free.
Where it clicks and
Yeah.
okay, but then you're not gonna have sensory.
Do you need? I mean,
if they do it like
I'm not trying to burn my retina because I have a phone across my face. That's what she said.
I mean, yes, it is hands free, but you won't literally be hands free.
Right. Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I
will
don't
be
you
free
guys.
for other things.
If Samsung is coming out with a foldable phone, I know myself. I'm probably gonna get it. I'm probably gonna be financing that thing, taking out a small loan, and when that happens, I will report live here on Geek Bros Podcast. Anybody else interested in email us at geekbros@yahoo.com. As we move on to open mic, Poor Taste featuring PETA. Flex, this is your topic.
Man, okay, so if y'all don't know who PETA is, they're kind of like the Black Panthers of animal rights. And as we know, or at least I don't know how old our listeners are, but when I was a child, Steve Irving was a quite educational, heroic man from Australia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who was very his goal was to save the world, to conserve everything, save the ozone layer, have water so clean you can literally go to any spring and drink from it, or any lake and drink from it. Okay. On his birthday, and he would have been 57 this year, and he passed away. He passed away when I was 16. I believe that was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
PETA came out and gave this statement on Twitter saying that Steve Irwin would harass animals. He was abusing animals and this and that. But I mean, first of all, whether or not, which he didn't, and it was a little extreme saying to abuse and harass. It's in very poor taste to come out on this man's birthday when his surviving family is are very large advocates for conservation.
Hold on. Read that. Is that a Twitter? Read that Twitter thing. Read it. What does he say?
Hold on. I have to actually log into it.
Oh yeah. Actually, hold on. I'll tell you one of them. I'll read one right now.
Okay.
The original. Okay, basically what they put it down. The original tweet was basically as a hashtag Steve Irwin was killed while harassing a ray. Yes. He dangled his baby while feeding a crocodile and wrestled wild animals who were minding their own business. Today / Google Dougal sends a dangerous fawning message. Wild animals are entitled to be left alone in their natural habitats. Now, here's the thing. Steve Irwin's what he's done. He's actually saved certain animals probably from extinction by showing education and helping people understand the how natural they are, and he was very big on their natural habitat. In fact, the reason why he died, people don't understand this, was that there was a choice between pulling out the ray stinger or killing the ray by taking its stinger off, and he pulled the stinger out.
Wow.
So he actually gave his life for a random animal that attacked him, pure defense, and it's true because an accidents happen. But instead of doing what most other people would have done,
Right.
which is by killing the animal to
Right.
possibly save his own life, he didn't.
So
Yeah.
basically, if he left the stingray in,
If he left
he probably
they had punctured his heart.
Right.
They would have probably had a chance to actually save him
because he wouldn't have bled out. Basically, is what you're saying. Would have had to I see.
And
so
also,
actual...
a stingray's the stinger is actually barbed, like an arrowhead.
Oh, so he tore himself up when he pulled it out.
Yeah.
So
it was irreparable damage done to his heart.
Right.
There was nothing that anyone can do because it just tore. It was beyond repair.
Right. Wow.
Now, if they would have removed the stinger and he had gone to a hospital, even if he was, his heart might have stopped, they may have been able to keep pumping the heart as much as possible while trying to keep the pressure there. So, or where they can, do an open heart surgery and save his heart.
Wow. Yeah. I see. They didn't tell us all that now.
No, and there's actually more tweets. Like after that, they follow up with saying Steve Irwin's actions were not on target with his supposed message to protecting wildlife. A real wildlife expert and someone who respects animals for the individuals they are and leaves them in their own business and their own natural homes. Now, I do remember as a child, I saw one episode where years ago, he had rescued a crocodile who I believe was hurt and was not able to have survived in the wild if he was left there. And Steve Irwin cared for the crocodile for years. I believe he had him before his children were born. And then in one of the episodes, the crocodile passed away from old age. And it was a very emotional episode because you saw him there crying, holding this crocodile that he's known for years, that he's cared for, that he's nurtured back to health. This is not a man who was out there, trying to harm wildlife. His message was pure. He, in one of the interviews, he said he doesn't care who he gets money from. He's going to use it, every single cent of it, for conservation and helping this planet.
And he has, and he did.
And his family follows in his footsteps. Like have you seen the pictures of like his children and his?
Both his son and Bindi, his daughter. Who is the baby that they're talking about that he dangled over crocodile, they were raised and they're doing amazing things now for conservation, and they push for conservation, but also repeating something else that PETA actually wrote afterwards was actually it's harassment to drag exotic animals, including babies taken from their mothers, around from TV talk shows to conferences and force them to perform as Steve Irwin did. Animals deserve to be left where they want to and not as humans demand.
Most of those animals were like in care of like animal hospitals too. Like it wasn't like they were just taken from the wild at random. They were brought in because they were injured, and while they were being nursed back to health is when he would take them and show them off to people to educate people on these animals. So it wasn't ever like, oh, I'm gonna do this for entertainment. He was always doing it to educate people on these animals. So it was in really poor taste what PETA said. Horrible
poor taste. I mean, honestly, PETA should really. I mean, here's the thing: is that PETA has really just shown their true colors. That they're not everything is black and white.
Mm-hmm. Okay? Oh, that's obvious. Yes, absolutely.
And the whole thing is that extremism in all forms is dangerous. Okay,
agreed.
We have it no matter whether it be religious or your personal views or whatever it is, extremism is a dangerous view and a way of doing things. And I think that PETA is just, they've gone too far. And honestly, they have any little bit of respect that I may have had for some of the things they stand for. This completely overshadows everything. And honestly, it's just, honestly, I don't even think they even attempted an apology of some form or another.
No, they stuck to their guns.
I totally agree. And it's funny. So what reason do we think they would have done this now? Like, I mean, does PETA really need the publicity? Do they really need the PR announcements? Do they really need this platform to be doing this? Like, why now?
I think they're modeling it off of #MeToo. Because that's what it is. That's the culture now. It's the accusation culture, the victim culture, all this stuff. It's just, what is it? Oh, it's called, I think, what is it? Call out culture? Something like that?
Call out culture.
Yeah.
So it's Justice Warriors.
I mean, it's one thing if the guy was still alive. But like,
Right,
come
to
on.
defend himself, but he can't defend himself against this attack. So yeah, it's kind of cowardly. I totally agree, and it's
But
funny
I mean,
because yep.
yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like, just and what drives me insane is that actually it's even the way the guy died shows how much he loves animals. Like that's just rough. And to sit there and just no, I mean, come on, man. That's just I can't.
I totally agree. I totally agree, and it's funny because I didn't know anything about it until Flex put me onto it. But this is actually a good segue into the curious case of Captain Marvel. As we're talking about the hashtag Me Too movements and everything like that. I don't know how much you guys are following it. I only just got on the bandwagon, but apparently, she said a couple of things during one of her interviews, and it's been taken out of context in theory. And the quote was, I don't need a middle-aged white man to tell me what's wrong with my movie if it wasn't made for you. And they took that and they ran with it, and to the point where now, from what I've heard, is that Rotten Tomatoes has taken off pre-comments and the percentage of people who are interested in watching movies now, because of this controversy and what they claim is trolls trolling and just throwing out negative stuff there. What do you guys? I'm gonna go round the robin here with Flex. Well, because Flex, he loves this stuff. Now that she says that Captain Marvel is a social justice warrior, a woman empowering movie first and foremost. And we all know that whatever these actors say, they're sanctioned by the company which produces these movies. So Disney's fully back on board, or at least Marvel, because they're gonna allow her to say this and not walk it back. What is your opinion upon the nonsense that's going on right now with Captain Marvel?
Well, honestly, like that kind of agenda, I don't care for, and I think it's sad because now we're gonna see movies do bad. We're gonna see the quality of story writing, this quality of content go down the drain because you're trying to please someone, and it's just trying to get like other people happy for the in the expense of the quality of the movie we're gonna get. The only thing I can say to this is, and to quote Princess Padme, is this how democracy dies? It's thunder, it's applaud.
Garbanzo.
Uh, Here's the thing, right? I was actually looking forward to this movie because the Carol Danvers as a character, I've always enjoyed, just because the comics wise, because I'm a big comic book fan, and just the whole cosmic aspect of Marvel, I was really excited to have them bring in because there's a lot more. They can really go from there, bringing in Nova, Epoch, and a whole bunch of other like great, just powerful characters who most people wouldn't even think about. And it's just like a plethora of things you can do with it. But to minimize a character to just, why it's minimize a character to a gender. It's what's the point in that? That's like minimizing something to a race.
Well, Garbanzo. I mean, she's the first female-led Marvel movie, and she's the most powerful character in the MCU yet.
And I understand that, but the fact of the matter is, why does it matter if she's male or female? Why not?
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's my whole point is why.
Sit up, Kathleen Kennedy.
It's not about her being female. It's just a strong character. Why not be based upon how strong the character is? It's something that it's kind of, here's the thing, right? One of my favorite quotes is actually from oh my god, dude, he's like the
Black Panther. I know.
No. Defenses. The whole thing is that no, it's actually from Morgan Freeman, and he actually, they ask him like about racism, and he goes, the easiest way to get rid of racism is stop using race.
Oh, yeah.
On the.
Yeah.
I am not a. He says, I guess I don't see myself like a black man. I see myself as a man. You're not a white man. You're a man. She's a woman. By using gender, you're creating racism. I mean, by your sexism itself.
Right, of
There's a
course.
powerful individual. It's like the whole. It's just the only time that I'll agree with saying like them or they, getting rid of that pronoun and referencing to a character, because it's you're complimenting. You're talking about the character itself, not what gender it is. Like Captain America. Captain America, technically speaking, by that title, could be male or female.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
Traditionally, I know.
Come on,
But,
come on.
but,
Come on,
there are-
come
but
on.
at the, but no, but at the same time, no. But the whole thing is, and there are storylines in Marvel that have been around for a while where they gender bend all the time.
Thor.
That is true. That is true.
Okay, and there's nothing, and there's always been, but it's always been storyline based, and it hasn't been agenda based. When you start making it like, like woman power or like or Asian power or black power or white power, whatever, now it becomes now it loses its actual its meaning.
It's creativity. This is all like innocence of actual
It's-
imagination.
It's tarnished my hope, my excitement that I had for this movie is tarnished by this aspect. I was looking forward to seeing one of the most powerful MCU characters finally come to the screen and seeing what they were going to do with it and seeing how it's going to be incorporated into Endgame. Now it's kind of like, oh, I got to worry about a bunch of of people yelling and screaming, like either whether they're yelling about it is that, oh, the female empowerment and this, that, and the other, or people on the other side being sexist assholes, which I don't agree with either. There's two extremes,
Assholes.
and then when they start coming together, the whole thing is that now I don't know, it's just useless. It's useless banter. It's
I
like
agree.
shit.
Absolutely.
I
Renee.
absolutely agree.
So the way I see this is I'm all for powerful female characters. Awesome, that's great. We need more of it. But just making the whole movie about like the fact that Captain Marvel is a woman kind of washes away the whole story of Captain Marvel.
But I mean, didn't they do that with to a lesser degree because Gal Gadot wasn't as outspoken? But they did market Wonder Woman also the same way. It's a female empowering movie. It's the first female led superhero movie in a while. That's pretty good. And they did market it as it's good for girls to see an empowering woman and blah blah blah. The only difference is that Gal Gadot
It's extremely hot. Much hotter.
It's
Like significantly hotter than
I
Brie Larson.
agree. But I don't really remember her hitting the media circuit saying this is a woman movie. It's all about women. That the female, this is how I'm a woman. I'm gonna make I'm gonna show this.
It
how
didn't need to be said.
Do you know why though? Do you know why?
exactly. Say that. I want to repeat that again.
It didn't need to be said.
That's my point.
Exactly.
So,
But also in her country, that's not allowed.
oh yes. Well, in Israel, she's Israeli, isn't she?
Yeah.
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 Women power is not allowed there.
Dude,
allegedly.
there's some of the most deadly females on the face of the planet come out of Israel.
No.
With
Hold on.
Mossad and stuff like that. I mean, I'm just saying,
But
dude.
it's all critical. It's never practical.
Right.
Just
No,
so
no.
you know that. No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
No, and don't get me wrong, but at the same time though, it's not. I mean, just the whole thing is that, and I get what you're saying. And but Renee, sorry for cutting you off on this, but like it really doesn't. He said like it doesn't have to be said. It's a great movie.
Absolutely.
Let's go see a great movie. Let's not go.
It's kind of like the same backlash that Battlefield 5 got for having a female on the cover of the game. Like
Right.
a lot of the trolling or whatever is a lot of the same backlash. It's like I feel like on the other side of like the basically the bunch of assholes that are like trolling basically, it's like they're kind of like pissed off because it's a woman.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. Have any of you guys played Battlefield 5?
Yeah. See,
I
you
have.
guys have to remember it's a video game. It's not real. Just take it for what it is. Don't take it personal, man.
Here's the thing, though, is that I
It's
get
based on
it.
history, though.
I get
Based on
it.
history.
I get it. But the thing, though, allegedly, right? Yeah. But
Yeah.
I get it. But I think where the anger is coming from is that was the woman put there for a purpose, or you know, for aesthetic reasons, or was it you know, to promote an agenda? And I think every time now you see something like that, they think there's an agenda being promoted, and because they see that agenda, it's pissing off a lot of individuals. So, and that's the sad part. So when you see a woman or a female on Battlefield 5, you're not saying, "Oh, that's kind of hot." You're like, "What's the
It is
reason?"
kind of hot though.
No, it is, right? But they're gonna say like what's the reason for that? Are you trying to appeal to the female demographic? Are you trying to throw an agenda in our face? Like that's what the problem becomes, is that now with this Me Too movement and this push for you know, inclusivity, but without merit, everybody now is like, anytime you see that, you're gonna jump and be like, okay, well, and then of course you have Brie Larson sitting out there
and that's the problem, because it takes away from the actual like story.
Exactly. I went from saying, holy crap, you've got a de-aged, well, semi-de-aged Sam Jackson. Okay, black don't crack. You got Coulson is back. I'm all up for this, and now it's oh, nobody's gonna watch it. It's gonna be, you know, Marvel's first big bomb because of Brie Larson's mouth, and I'm just like, well, you know, if Marvel didn't like it, they would have said something by now. They would have reined it in. You guys saw what happened with Mark Hamill and The Last Jedi. He went from saying this is not my Luke to, no, but you know what? I did this because it was Ryan's movie and it was the right time. So they would have cracked the whip if they needed her. This is what they want. So it's really unfortunate. But
I don't, because at the same time though, here's the reason though.
Yep.
Brie is a female. They came on Mark because he's a guy. Yeah, if they were to come at Brie and say, hey, stop saying this, then Brie could turn around and say, oh, they're trying to silence silence me when I'm trying to speak.
There are contractual obligations to certain actors that they cannot badmouth their own production. You know, they can't. It's in there. So it's not a NDA necessarily, but these, especially now with Marvel, you know, Marvel's ironclad. You cannot spoil certain things. You get penalized. So I'm pretty sure it's in the clause that, listen, if you don't, you know, you have to go on the circuit. You have to be positive. You cannot not do something, kind of thing. Why do you think Ben Affleck was back and forth this whole Batman thing? I'm pretty sure it's in his clause where he cannot do something that's going to hurt the brand. So every time somebody says, oh, you know, he's out, he's got to say, no, I'm kind of still in there, sort of, not really, to keep it evenly. And then once, and it's no surprise now that it's post Justice League, now he's finally saying, yeah, I'm done with Batman. Because guess what? His contract probably said, you can't talk about it until a year after the DVD release, and now you're free to do what you need to do. So it is sanctioned by Disney, and go. Flex just saying. You see, that's the funny thing about the Skyping with you guys, because you can actually type and text, and Flex has done it 3 times so far this episode, and it throws me right off because I'm trying to talk and read at the same time. I'm not that good with teleprompters. So from there, we're gonna move on to. I wanted to talk about Rick and Morty season 4, but I realized I don't have much to talk about. So besides the fact that you guys already know that they've been renewed for like 70 plus more episodes, I do know the one news.
9 seasons, Morty.
Right, exactly. What I do know is that they're sending it. They sent animations over to be I just colored in or draw it in. So they're actually in the process for season 4. I think they're trying for a summer release like last time, but that's what's going on. So I guess instead of talking about season 4, we'll talk about, oh my God, that's go sell that. Get 50 cents for it now. By the way, the Szechuan sauce is disgusting. All right, it was disgusting.
It was not.
Listen. Me and myself and Juancho, he got some of that, and we tried it on air. Okay, and we ate some nuggets with it, and we were thoroughly disappointed. It was horrible. All right, it was nothing special with the Szechuan sauce. It was disgusting.
I've got like 20 packs, so somebody needs a pack.
Okay, we should do it again then. We should all get picked up.
It was really. I liked it. I'm just
disgusting. Saying. It was terrible. If you guys like the Szechuan sauce, please email us at geekbros@yahoo.com so I can hear this. But I'm gonna go around and just, what are you guys hoping for season 4? I'll go the other way. Renee.
I'm hoping that they keep. I'm hoping that they keep going with the storyline of Evil Morty.
They're gonna tease that, but they're gonna throw that on the back burner. But I would like that too. Evil Morty's story is compelling, but you only get 1 episode per season about him, or was it only like they didn't do anything in season 2, right? They did with season 1 and season 3. So
you might not see anything because if they're doing it like odd number seasons, you might not see any evil.
exactly, we might wait till we have to wait for season 5, and it's just gonna be like a slow burn. Garbanzo, season 4.
I mean, I kind of agree, man. To kind of see what happens with the new with the Morty and Power and everything at the Citadel. But the whole thing is that just the Citadel itself, or I mean, I want to say that I foresee them not doing every other season and referencing the Citadel. I think that Rick's disgust of the Citadel itself is going to come to a crescendo. And he may end up
Rick and Morty movie.
So I don't know. Maybe that'll be actually kind of cool if they actually
why not
set up for a Rick and Morty movie.
Exactly. Like that could be like a Rick and Morty movie. Like you set it up, and then bam, there's a Rick and Morty movie. It's all about that. And then
I did hear that they're not going to make us wait this long anymore.
For what?
For the other seasons.
Well, because they got the order now, so now they can they're just writing it out and churning it out, and they just keep it on the back burner. So hopefully, Flex, we're talking about wish list for season 4, Rick and Morty.
I want to see Summer die.
Really?
Which one?
You don't think she grew on you? Which one? Summer?
No. I mean, which Summer? I mean, which version of Summer? Cronenberg Summer, or like. Cronenberg Summer, I mean, she was that's Rick technology smash.
I don't know. Honestly, I just want more. It doesn't matter if it follows the storyline or not. I just want more.
My wish is I want them.
Rick?
No, because they already did that. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna do that again. They're probably gonna turn him to something else. I actually want, and I've been dying for this since I saw it. I want to go to the dog universe with Mr. Snuffles or Snowflake.
Oh yeah.
I want to see what's going on over there. Snowball. I want to go. I really want, because I like that. That episode was kind of funny. I want to go over there. I want to see what's happening over there. Are they? It'd be funny knowing. The world with the shit, it's all dogs, and even with all their intelligence, they don't have the capacity of civilization like humans, and I'd love to see, like, okay, well, you left, and Rick would be like, yeah, fuck you, you left, and this is what happens. There was something else that I wanted to see.
Maybe they just have like a lot of really big fire hydrants. That'd be kind of cool.
I do know they're doing intergalactical or Cable 3.
Yes,
I know they are doing that. That's definitely coming. I want to see. I don't want them to. So we know at the end of season 3 they reset the family dynamic to the way it was in season 1. But I hope they don't do that to Morty. Morty really came into his own in season 3. I liked that he was saying F you to Rick and kind of like you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like he was really like he was getting his defiance on. He wasn't that oh my god.
He got his shit together.
He was getting it together, and I hope that they don't reset that, because. When I recently, not recently, but a while back, I watched all the seasons, and I realized Morty in season 1 was a pain in the ass. I couldn't stand him. Now when I rewatched it, I like the little sassy one who's kind of just like, he's still gonna get knocked around by Rick, but he's gonna give you something slick to say beforehand. Like, what was it, the Purge World, when he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and he knocks him out. So like I kind of like that, and I like his. I guess his slow burn to turn to the dark side. I see an arc of where this Morty turns to the dark side a little bit, and how that'll affect Rick. You know what I'm trying to say? And whether he's just going to replace him, or is he going to try and save him and bring him back? So that's what I want to see. I want to see I want Morty to go to the dark side. Legit. I want to go to the dark side. I want to go to the dark side, and I want Rick to have to deal with that fallout. And now he's with Beth. Whether she's a clone or not, with Jerry, and they're kind of looking at him like, you fucked up. You turned our son into a Nazi. What are you gonna do? And Rick, unfortunately, he has a heart, whether he wants to admit it or not, and he's gonna go and try and save him. I'd like to see that. That's just my wish list, because I like stories and whatnot and junk. So send us your wishes. Okay, and this is like the 4th time I'm asking you guys to email us at geekbros@yahoo.com. That's GEEKBR0S@yahoo.com. I actually now can read your emails, and I can respond to them. So by all means, you will get some kind of response from yours truly, and I'll bring in all the other Geek Bros. Maybe even guest Renee. Who knows? You might get lucky. So we're gonna move on to it. I found this really funny randomly. Lucky Charms beer. Now the reason why
delicious.
It sounds delicious. I only bring this up because Flex. Do you remember that Lucky Charms like mixed drink smoothie drink that we made? It was a while back.
Yeah. Oh man,
that was liquid crack.
It was delicious.
It was delicious. So when I saw this, I'm like, ooh. So for those who are new listening, when the podcast first began, I actually would make mixed drinks every episode. I would find a mixed drink. It was usually from what was that place? Not inebriated. It was
Bartender.
Tipsy Bartender. I would
and it had some great stuff.
They have some great stuff, and it's very easy. You literally follow the video, and you get the ingredients, and you make it as is. And actually, the Fruit Loops one and the Lucky Charms one came from Tipsy Bartender.
Yep.
And so I used to make mixed drinks every single episode, and that was part of it. And it was mixed drinks, and I would cook. It was, I should bring back that. Even though you guys are over there, I'll just eat it for myself, and you guys will watch me eat it, and drink it. So anyway, this is a limited edition Saturday morning IPA. Is Lucky Charms themed. Okay, so it's in Virginia. Virginia-based brew company Smart Mouth is releasing a new IPA that will invoke all the feelings. Appropriately titled Saturday Morning, the new release is an ode to those early weekend hours spent parked in the front of the TV in your PJs, Saturday morning cartoons, your favorite cereal. Yep, the beer is brewed with Lucky Charms inspired marshmallows. The IPA is made from toasted marshmallows and tropical fruit calypso hops. A spokesperson from the company shared with Delish, this is coming from Delish.com, the 16-ounce cans will have 6.6 ABV. I don't know what that means. Anybody know what that means, ABV?
Average volume.
Okay, cool.
It's basically your
alcohol by volume.
Oh, okay, excellent. And come patterned in the same rainbow themed that you know and love. So hopefully, here's my problem. This is great, but I swear to God, Lucky Charms is gonna say something about this, because even those, if you, I don't know if you guys are bringing up the article I sent you, but I'm looking at the can, and that's what the can looks like. It screams Lucky Charms. They're gonna get one of those, like, whatever. They even include season, and they even include on their hashtag for this. It's magically delicious. You literally you're tempting them to really like come at you.
Yeah, but at the same time though, it's no publicity is bad publicity, I guess you could say.
Infringing on IPA, you know how this intellectual property, anything is infringed upon, and they will say, well, it's a kid's cereal. We don't want kids saying, "Ooh, let me get this
with
beer."
beer.
Exactly. So I can foresee that happening, which is going to be a shame. But gentlemen, who is down to find some of this and drink some of this on air?
Me. You know what? I'm pretty sure they're going to have it at the 10th Level Tavern.
Okay, then we are going to the 10th Level Tavern. Okay, as soon as my computer, my camera is fixed, I need to do another live broadcast there. I don't even know what we're waiting for. It was fantastic. Of course, Renee, you're welcome to join us. And yeah, definitely for me and you, because Flex, I can see me and you filling up those tankers and just like going to town on that thing. I'll even bring the whipped cream. Just right on top. So
whipped cream and beer. Yeah, that sounds like.
Hey, why not? You might as well. This is marshmallows, okay? What are you talking about? Like, ours doesn't need better.
All right, maybe.
Right. See, Garbanzo's down. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So I'm telling you guys, as soon as this comes out, we're definitely gonna put it out there on the Geek Bros Instagram, and we'll make it happen. We're gonna drink this, and we're gonna have a good old time. Okay. Cheers. So Flex, before we wind down, as this is now an hour and a half, and can you believe that we have to try and distill this to 45 minutes in the future? I can't believe it. Oscar winners presented by Darth Flexx. Close us out, Flex.
Are we gonna go over all of them or the ones who matter?
Whichever ones. No, I mean we some geek stuff won, and that's
okay,
what you want to do. That's all I care.
As you may know, for the best original music score, Black Panther won.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Is it for which? Is it for the music, the song? Like all the stars are closer.
Yeah. Just the music.
Okay, all right.
I guess it's okay of an accomplishment, whatever. It's not like Star Wars.
Look at it.
But actually, I think the one that stood out the most for me.
It's cool though, like a comic book movie won. Like
that's not just it. Best animated feature is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Hells
yes, that was an awesome movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie was amazing. I can't wait for the sequel.
Okay, real quick. So that this is just to point this out. Miles Morales is an amazing Spider-Man. I love how they did that with him, and how they incorporated him. They didn't shove it down people's throat.
Nope.
They made it actually like a legit reason why the whole thing. And that, and it's, I'll be honest, it's kind of cool that there's a
what you're saying is
Hispanic
that
guy
he
out
wasn't
there.
Spider-Man he wasn't a Hispanic Spider-Man just because he was Hispanic.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's actually true. It's like you don't have to throw it in our face. It's there, and it was done fantastic. God, I love that movie. Sorry, Flex. Carry on. We digress.
Well, Black Panther also won Best Costume Design.
Oh.
And then Black Panther also won Best Production Design.
Yeah, they did.
No, it's true. That was, I love that Afro future look.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, not really so much geek culture, but still pretty like prominent in like geek movies. Is Queen. Bohemian Rhapsody won a ton of Oscars.
Yeah, you praise that movie. I'm still waiting for it to go out before I can watch it.
It's so good. I don't know, for real. It was fantastic to watch. I think they got the best film editing. And I think it was
And that's and because I hear that, I have to watch this movie. Guys know that I edit all that stuff, so I'm dying to see this.
Well, we'll get together and do like a in live watching.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I think it is out on Netflix now.
Is it?
Oh, I gotta check.
No, I think it's on Amazon Prime.
I got Prime.
Hey, you might be right. It might be on Amazon Prime.
I bought it on Amazon, but I think it's on Amazon Prime now.
I will say this though. Another winner was actually the best animated short was Bao from people from Pixar.
I never heard of that.
Bao. It's basically the story of this lady who she made like these little Bao bunches, and the whole thing the Bao bunch basically comes to life, and it's basically she doesn't eat it, and it's basically what it is actually her kid. So it's like a metaphor for her child, and like she grows up, and as it becomes a teenager, it starts getting really rambunctious and starts doing all things that make her angry. She actually turns around and loses her temper and eats it. And eats the actual Bao bun. It gets like a somber moment, but then she realizes it's actually just. But then her son comes into the picture, and it's like, oh wow, he looks like it's kind of like that's where the whole idea behind it. I highly recommend it. It's on YouTube.
Okay,
it's a great animated short. It's really really. It's called Bao.
All right,
B-A-O.
well, and that is how we wrap this up. That's friggin' fantastic. Listen, gents, thank you so much for tuning in. And wait. That was the wrong way I want to do that. It's all good. Thanks for tuning in to Keepin with the Geek Bros, episode 55. I'm Vibe.
Darth Flexx.
Garbanzo.
And Renee.
Yep. And, of course, you can follow us on all the social medias. Okay? Instagram, it's Geek Bros with a 0. Twitter, @us, Geek Bros with a 0. And email us every and anything. Okay? Or if you want to just talk to Renee, by all means. It's geekbros@yahoo.com. Of course, remember, there will be a slight delay with uploading the audio at WeebieGeeksPC.com, but you will be able to watch the video recaps, though, weekly, bi-weekly, at youtube.com/VibeRev Studios. That is a wrap. We appreciate you, and the best is yet to come.
Keeping up with the Geek Bros.